Welcome to Cupid's Corner, where love stories come alive. Sit back, relax, and let the tales of romance sweep you off your feet.
Stuck in time. The clock on the wall ticked steadily, a constant reminder that time was slipping away. Grayson Stone leaned back in his chair, pushing a hand through his tousled hair as he stared at the towering stack of files. The New Year's Eve party was in full swing outside the office, laughter and music drifting through the walls, but here, in the dim light of their law firm, it felt like a different world. "You know," Michelle Robertson said, her voice slicing through the silence like a knife, "we really should be out there, celebrating. Not stuck here with these boring briefs." Grayson looked up, a smirk playing on his lips. "And miss the chance to save the firm's reputation? I'd say we're the real heroes tonight." Michelle rolled her eyes but couldn't suppress a smile. "Right, because nothing screams hero like poring over legal documents while everyone else is partying." He laughed, the sound warm and infectious. "You know, I wouldn't mind being out there, but if I have to be trapped in a stuffy office, I'd rather be here with you." Her heart raced at the unintentional compliment, but she masked it with playful sarcasm. "Flattery won't get you anywhere, Stone." "Is that so?" He leaned forward, his elbows resting on the desk, intensity in his gaze. "What would get me somewhere, then?" Before she could formulate a witty comeback, the lights flickered ominously. The air in the office grew heavy, as if something was about to change. "Did you feel that?" Michelle asked, glancing up at the ceiling. "Probably just a power surge," Grayson said, dismissing her unease. But a split second later, the office lights dimmed completely, and the soft hum of the fluorescent lights ceased. "What the?" A loud thud resonated from the elevator shaft as it jolted to a stop. The faint sounds of the party faded away, replaced by an oppressive silence. "Great," Michelle muttered, her fingers instinctively curling into fists. "Just great." Grayson stood, concern etched on his face. "Stay here. I'll check it out." "No. She felt her breath quicken, a familiar panic clawing at her throat. "I don't want to be alone." He hesitated, sensing her distress. "Okay, I'll stay with you. Let's just see if we can get the elevator working again." With a reluctant nod, she followed him into the tight confines of the elevator. The doors slid shut with a clank, sealing them in darkness. The only light came from Grayson's phone, casting a soft glow that illuminated their faces. "I can't do this," Michelle whispered, her heart racing as she pressed her back against the metallic wall. "I can't." "Breathe," Grayson said, his voice low and steady. "In and out. Just like we practiced." She tried to focus on his words, but the walls felt like they were closing in. "I don't know if I can." "Look at me," he urged, stepping closer, the warmth of his body radiating against the chill of the metal. "You're not alone. I'm right here." "Grayson," she said, her voice trembling. "I'm claustrophobic. I can't." "I know," he interrupted gently, reaching out to take her hand. "But we'll get through this together. Just keep looking at me." She met his gaze, the panic swirling in her chest slowly subsiding as she focused on the sincerity in his eyes. "What if we're stuck here all night? Then we'll make the best of it." He chuckled softly, a hint of mischief dancing on his lips. "Who knows? Maybe we'll end up as legends. The two lawyers who conquered the elevator." "Legends, huh?" she echoed, her lips twitching into a smile despite herself. "Absolutely," he said, his thumb brushing against her knuckles. "We'll have a great story to tell. How we bravely faced the metal beast and lived to tell the tale." Michelle laughed, a sound rich with relief. "I can see it now. The heroic Grayson Stone and the brave paralegal Michelle Robertson." "Exactly." He leaned closer, their foreheads almost touching. "And you'll be my trusty sidekick. Always ready with a witty comeback." "More like the damsel in distress," she countered, her heart pounding in her chest, but this time for an entirely different reason. The air between them crackled with tension, a shift that neither had anticipated. Not a chance, he said, his voice dropping to a husky whisper. You're anything but a damsel. The moment hung between them, electric and charged, as if the world outside had faded entirely. Michelle could feel the heat radiating from his body, the way his breath mingled with hers in the confined space. Grayson, she whispered, her heart racing. What if? Before she could finish, he closed the distance, capturing her lips with his. The kiss was tentative at first, a shared breath of relief and understanding, but it quickly deepened, igniting a fire that had long been smoldering between them. She melted into him, the panic of the elevator forgotten as they lost themselves in the moment, the taste of him sweet and intoxicating. It was a kiss that spoke of 3 years of unspoken attraction, of the longing that had simmered beneath the surface of their professional relationship. When they finally pulled apart, both breathless, Grayson rested his forehead against hers, a smile breaking free. Well, that was definitely more exciting than being stuck in an elevator. Are we really doing this? Michelle asked, her heart still racing. What about work? The firm? Let them talk, he said, a mischievous glint in his eyes. We're not just colleagues anymore. We're something more. She bit her lip, a wave of exhilaration washing over her. More? Definitely more. He grinned, his fingers entwined with hers, grounding her in the moment. Besides, it's New Year's Eve. A time for new beginnings. And you're okay with this? She asked, searching his gaze for any hesitation. More than okay, he replied, his thumb brushing against her cheek. I've wanted this for a long time. The elevator rocked slightly, and they glanced at the doors, half expecting them to burst open. But they remained sealed, cocooning them in their little world. What if we're stuck longer, she teased, her heart fluttering at the thought of being trapped here with him. Then I guess we'll have to make the most of it, he said, his voice low and inviting. I wouldn't mind spending a little more time with you like this. A laugh escaped her lips, lightening the air around them. You know, I might just take you up on that. As the clock struck midnight, a distant cheer echoed from the party outside, the sound of celebration ringing clear even through the steel walls. Happy New Year! Grayson said, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Happy New Year, she echoed. With a grin, he leaned in again, capturing her lips with his in a kiss that promised new beginnings, adventure, and all the possibilities the future could hold. In that small, confined space, surrounded by darkness, they found a light that illuminated everything around them, a connection that would carry them into the new year and beyond. The end.
Thank you for listening. Let's spread the love. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Because everyone deserves a bit of romance.